Good work. Good work.
Welcome to the Fairfield Shellfish Commission meeting, August 9, 2023. Present are Todd Kenke, Sean Cohen, Bruce Kiefner, Lizette Enhofer, Tim Macklin, John Short, Tim Bishop is on the phone.
Cindy is too.
All right.
Oh, Cindy is too.
Oh, Cindy. Hi,
Oh, Cindy, you're on the line too? Cindy
Yep.
Wakeman on the line.
We didn't see you.
We have a quorum. All right. Going to approval of the draft meeting minutes of July 12th, 2023. Any changes, corrections, questions, comments?
No changes.
No changes. No changes.
Everything's good?
Yep.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of July 12th, 2023.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Bills and communications. Clam Relay and planting. We did approve money for a relay last meeting, and we're going to need to do them because we're running low on clams out in the bed. The tides, it would have been great to do it Friday when we closed, but the tide was not right this week, so the tides aren't right this week, but possible for next week. So I'll talk to the harvesters and see if they're available and try to get out there and get some clams. If I can't make the boat trip, we usually have a commissioner on the boat, Tim, Todd, Sean.
Sure. I'm traveling Sunday to Sunday, unfortunately. We'll be around.
Maybe Tim and Todd, wear your boots and gloves.
Believe I'm around, yeah.
If I can make it, I'll go on the boat. That's it. We were offered some soft shell clams again this year. We decided against
Well, it's 12 times every day.
yeah. They died last year, so we didn't bother this year.
That was at Southport we put them in?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see if they sold them to anyone else this year. If they had success, we'll ask them what they did and maybe think about it for next year. All right. Anything else on Clam Relay and planting? Water and habitat quality.
John, if you could just let me know about that, we'll touch base because Tom and the gang's going to be short-staffed if you need us next week.
No, it'll be on one of the harvesters' boats, so we won't need the boat.
Okay, great.
We'll be off of our natural beds and bringing it over instead of buying market. So,
Okay.
with that.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Water and habitat. What was that?
So in July, we were open for 14 days, closed for 17. And the rain gauge registered 10.8 inches of rain.
And we are currently closed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We've been closed for 69 days so far this year. Or prior to this paper.
Anything else on water and habitat? Okay. Permits and access.
Can we take it? I'll take it.
Yep.
So we have a total sold of 347, with 105 via mail, 21 at the Clam Clinic, and 221 online. We've had 2 voided.
Yeah, that always happens.
Okay.
So
I did
we're a
mine
little short,
online.
I think.
I did mine online,
Yeah.
and it was a little tricky finding out where to do it.
Yeah.
And this kind of doesn't mix, but there was a post today that had a link to that, and it had can you boost this? I think that's a great idea, to boost that, to make it really easy for people to
So
click
when
on
you
that.
go on there, 'cause I did it too, it's like conservation something.
Yeah.
Right down, inch below that says shellfish fishing. It says you can click on resident,
Right,
non-resident.
but I went to the rec department, I wasn't sure where I was going to look for that, so I went to the rec department site to try and do
Yeah,
it,
the
so
rec
they could do it for
department
rec.
site is a little tricky.
So, just saying, I think the idea of boosting it on the Facebook post, isn't
How many
that
people did
idea?
it online?
221.
All right, so 219 have no problem doing it, just me and you.
Try it once. Do we want to make a motion? I can tell you what the reach is. $10 probably in the next few days would get us. I'm gonna make it up. Probably get about 700 people seeing the thing.
Why not?
Sure.
$10. I mean, that's
Okay.
plenty.
Yep. Because we wanna make, we got, I think last year was 413, we're at 347, so we need like 66 more permits?
Yep.
We can do it.
Okay, $10.
And also, if we, on Facebook, we mentioned the fact that we're doing a relay, you know, that there are more out there. You know, and you put numbers out there, we're putting out 5,000 more clams, or whatever the number is.
So, when we go on the boat, Tim or Todd, you know, take a ton of pictures, maybe some video, and,
Sure.
Sean knows
Get
how to
some
put
content.
together a nice little,
Get you some video.
you know, so we could send that over to you, Sean, and
Yep, absolutely.
So what's the size of the relay gonna be, roughly? What do
8
you-
million clams.
3 million.
No, about 120 bushels.
Which is
However they can get in.
40,000?
40, I mean, that's impressive, I mean,
30,000, 30 to 40,000, depending on the size, you know? So we've been getting some pretty good ones
Yeah.
the last few. We don't get these big giant cohogs, we get little necks and
Yeah.
top necks. So we're getting a lot of clams. Yeah, we usually do 120 bushel.
I mean, when I tell people, you know, like we did for the clam clinic, we put out 10,000 clams, I mean, people go, wow, you know, there's a lot out there.
A lot of clams. All right, we're gonna go right to, did we do permits and access?
Yeah,
Yep.
the water
Southport
quality.
Beach reopening, any word on that?
Well, I think we said something that Sands Cleary was gonna chat with Tim, so is that our first step? Tim, were you able to have any conversations?
Hans and I did have a brief conversation. He was going to look into a few things, and we were going to kind of reconvene and set up time to dig in a little harder. So I will circle back with him. I'll make a note tomorrow to set something up more solid.
I'm fine driving the process once we get in the middle of it, but I'd like to make sure that we're not gonna discount all the stuff that already happened at Sasco, and we take advantage of what, I guess, they learned, and Sands is what, the institutional knowledge, he was part of that when it happened?
Yeah, it also came up in my MetroCog meeting as far as testing, and I don't know if it was MetroCog or I think it was the Sasco Brooklyn. You're right. It just reminded me. I stand corrected. As far as identifying, you know, source of the certain bacteria strands, whether human, horse, goose, whatever. So yeah, I'll circle back with Sands on that.
Cool.
Would you guys interested in doing any more DNA testing? I can order some more kits.
Well,
I guess I think that's gonna be part of it. I think the question becomes what's the order in which we're doing things, just to make sure we're not doing it like 3 times, but the answer is yes.
because, Sean, we got a copy of the last report, which was done in, 10 years ago, something like that, which was a comprehensive report, which is 100 pages long or something like that. So I don't know whether Tim has whether we sent him a copy of that or not, but they probably have a copy. We ought to send Sam. I was gonna forward a copy to Sands and to Tim, but I didn't. But there's only a few pages that relate to us specifically, but it talks very specifically about the methodology.
Yep.
Okay. All right, let's go
If
to
you could do that,
commercial
please.
shellfish regs, no report. Oyster bed development, let's see, Tim's still collecting shell?
Mm-hmm.
Had a good pile down there, or?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
we
man.
picked up 10 buckets from Bryac today alone. I mean, Bryac's our big shell producer,
Mhm.
Nordic fish, so.
Still pulling like, 12 bushel a week?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, and then I said, there's a woman dropped off 2 buckets of clamshell at the community bin today. We're pulling up.
She probably got from,
Speaking of shell,
maybe.
Tim Bishop, I already talked to him about it, and we emailed. We normally pick up the Milford Oyster Festival shell, but in the past, we were the only shell pile in the state. Now that there's multiple piles in the state, I feel that, you know, we have shell, and the use of the town resources is, it's not the best use of our resources to bring that shell back when there's other people that would gladly take that shell. So, we're gonna hand it off to Core. and they're gonna set their trailer there and pick up that shell instead of putting a town truck there and all that.
Does that apply, that's for Norwalk?
That's the Milford oyster.
Oh, for the Milford.
Yes, we don't do that. That's normal. All right, anything else on oyster bed development? The hats are in, everything's looking good.
Yeah.
So I was walking around Sasco Creek, and that looks like a good spot for some restoration also. I'll think about that for next year.
Okay, good idea.
All right. Communications, Sean.
Put out 2 posts today, so no responses on that yet. Obviously, it didn't play into to the things, but we're gonna promote them, as we just talked about. Video, get me the stuff. I don't see any other big events we have coming up. Our Eagle Scout, as you know, he changed his project, not our stuff, so that sort of went away as one of our big things. I'd like to figure out something else big. I don't know.
Yeah, we're gonna be planting the oysters, so we're putting those in, so we can do some pictures or video of that.
Is that September?
No, that's gonna be like the next week.
Oh, no, you're talking about, okay, I got
The
it.
oysters gotta be downloaded.
100%, I just said that, yep.
Yeah, and then we have,
The video.
probably early October of taking,
Yep.
collectors out.
Yeah.
Maybe we could talk to the folks at Aquaculture.
We already talked to them. We're gonna take our oysters and put them in their cage, so for winter.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to make this meeting go along really fast tonight, because Tim has to be somewhere, and I got a really bad pinched nerve, so.
Yep.
But yes, we talked to Aquaculture, we'd like to put our oysters in their cage.
I was talking about having them make a video
Oh.
spat collecting.
Oh, yeah. Did they, well, we have to, I think, work that through Ludlow, like their, AV department?
Well, either
Yeah.
Ludlow
Yeah.
or the aquaculture school.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause we had a lot of aquaculture school kids there.
Yeah. We just got something to,
All right. That's a good idea. All right, downwellers, Tim.
They're,
These are upwellers.
yeah.
Mhm.
You're doing great.
Change that.
We had like a few pump issues, a couple of weeks ago, but I think it was just the heat and humidity, just messing with the circuit breaker, but it's been running good. Oysters are growing very rapid pace,
Mhm.
so we gotta get them out of there and get them cleaned up and shut them down.
So we've been able to produce a 3-inch oyster in 12 months.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Thin shell, but.
Yeah. But there's some nice oysters in there. We ran a couple of experiments too. We put them to shell in there and see if we can catch spat on there, and it looks like.
You see any of it?
Yeah, got a microscope, looked at it, I have a picture through the little lens, that little spat on there already, so it's crazy, yeah.
All right. Reports from the conservation department. Anything else on downwellers, upwellers?
All right.
Other than when we changed it to an upweller, we really haven't lost any oysters.
Right,
Runs better.
crazy, but,
And they're growing faster.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they get fed really good now. All right, shellfish fund balance, $32,526.12 as of July 31st. It's back up there, so we'll spend a little bit for some clams on that, but, I don't know, we're doing our job.
Yeah.
Spending money, and there's still money, so
Mm-hmm.
we'll put more clams out, or, we'll talk about things, we might need some for a boat or something like that, but. All right, shellfish permits, we already went over that, 347 is July 31st, closure period we went over, budget status, we're not gonna talk about tonight. Anything on old business?
I got 3 quick for you, John, under reports.
Go ahead.
Website, IT is, I know Bruce had brought this up last meeting. Website, tentative launch is September 1st, townwide. Had a good conversation meeting with Noah yesterday. The research group was in the water. The press was there, put in plugs for the commission. And it was mostly reporting on what Noah's doing. And the last one I had was, I think you all saw it today, an email from Fairfield Beach Residents Association regarding an event coming up
Right.
that you
The problem with that is it's the same night as our meeting,
yeah. So
September 13th, so.
that's all I got.
If someone wants to go to the Fairfield Beach meeting and then report on it at the next meeting, but that's gonna be this September 13th, 7 o'clock for residents, 7:30 the meeting starts. It's at the Jackie Durrell Pavilion. You guys all saw the email, right?
No.
But it would be good if maybe a representative from the Shellfish Commission is there, because obviously they want to talk about slipper shell or something like that, or, you know, that's their big concern down there.
Getting rid of that.
Yeah, so maybe Tim or Todd could go hang around that meeting.
Sure.
All right.
13th.
Anything else, Tim?
No, those are the only three. Just keeping it short. Noah's happy with everything going on. They were downloaded in the Sond yesterday for water quality. They got good spat adhesion on their stringer shells and obviously our spat collectors. Everyone was excited. I brought in the press to try and get some more publicity and pats on the back for you guys, and the work the town has done as a whole. So everyone's pretty positive.
I want to say thanks for going down there.
Yeah.
I couldn't make it, and I think Tim couldn't make it, so
Thank you.
thank you.
No problem.
All right, any new business?
Yeah, the Exide development plans, there's a lot of concern. They're preliminary at this point, but the question is gonna be, what are they going to do for runoff, and how is that gonna impact us? They were very, very vague. They had conceptual plans as to what they want to do structurally for housing and the storage facility there, but when it was raised about public access and the launch, and they said, well, they want to have like a little park, and they said, no, that's not really what we want, and it's not a boat launch per se, it's a place to put in a kayak or whatever, but the runoff, and they really hadn't occurred to them what they were going to do and what their responsibilities
So
were.
when you say runoff, you mean construction runoff or runoff off a roof or parking lot?
Both.
So really the concern would be on construction runoff, roof and parking lot. I mean, the whole town empties into the storm sewers, which empty into the sound, so.
Yeah, but this is
crazy
all
with that.
upstream of the Mill River.
Yeah.
I mean, this goes,
We empty this whole area empties into the pond at Pine Creek, so, but construction runoff, we do want to look into that and make sure they're following practices. I'm sure they're gonna have to. But if you want to keep us informed on that.
yeah, HMC has been pushing them on this as well. So, I mean, we are one of the concerned parties, us and HMC. So it's incumbent upon them to keep us informed. It's not incumbent upon us to ask them what they're doing.
Got it.
So,
Right.
and Tim, I'm sure you're intimately involved with that, or will be.
Yeah, from the department and the commission, as far as passive or active recreational open space, it's questionable yet. I haven't been told whether there's any inland wetlands on site. I do know from deep that at the Route 1 overpass is still salt water. I got some lab data field data from Harbor Watch, so that's one of their sampling stations, and I've caught blue crabs with deep for tissue sampling at that overpass. So as far as the river goes, I'm not sure, what the department's involvement will be, but as far as any stormwater runoff, engineering would handle that in the application if conservation didn't, already have their hands on it. So.
Yeah, I guess we'll see if it comes to us or not. I'm not sure if that'll come to us. They're not really doing any work in the water or anything, so. But we'll pay attention.
Yeah, the intent I have is coordinating with Jeff Stedman to have a joint kind of discussion with the various representatives of commissions all at once, harbor management, conservation, you guys, and maybe TPZ, just to kind of talk about what the town's needs or requests would be, for this riparian buffer, open space, kayak access, that type of thing. So, that hasn't happened yet. Haven't heard of a meeting date since still kind of conceptual.
You know, this may give us an opportunity to tie the town in with the water quality and that, and our concerns with that. Since this is on the river, so we can try to blend that in somehow, and we'll see.
Yeah.
But, that's for another day. Any new business? Informational? No good information? The Milford Oyster Fest is the 19th.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So if anyone wants some oysters. Yeah? Anything else going on? Okay. Any other? So in the other, it says custom signs have been installed to designate each of the two shell piles of the workshop.
Yeah, they put nice signs in, one that says cured and curing. So
Mhm.
very looks nice.
Nice.
Very nice. Thank you, Conservation Department. Yeah.
Give
The
credit
other
to Tom.
Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Is Tim Bishop,
Tom
I don't know if Tom Force has talked to you or not about the boat, and that, even with the work we did, that we're probably gonna have to replace it sooner than later. So we have to start doing some research and stuff like that. Did he talk to you about that?
He's mentioned it, but I think as the fall approaches, it would be good to have that conversation, either together or as a commission, but to at least have a handful of 2 or 3 proposals about, what something the boat would cost and what we get for the price, because I'll have to go before all the boards with the requests for funds to purchase it. So that information, I don't even know how much it costs. So I would have to rely on you guys to do that research and provide it.
Sure.
Okay.
All right, we'll start doing that as the
Some,
fall comes about.
real quick, she called me, she wanted some shells for an art project. Are we okay with giving her that? Should I ask her make a donation to the Shellfish Commission? Scholarship, potentially?
I wouldn't want her down at the pile by herself.
No, I'll get it and we'll take care of it. I'll drop it off for her.
It's for an art project. Is she a teacher?
She didn't say.
She wants to make those things and resell them?
I said that you're not using it for landscaping or anything like that, and she said it's for an art project. I can get some more detail on it.
Get a little more
I
detail.
would think she's trying to sell those babies.
Okay.
She's trying to do that decoupage and sell them.
If she's reselling, then I
She
say
can walk
no,
along
we
the
gotta
beach
put
and
her
get
pick 'em
shit.
up.
Okay, if it's for just
But if it's for a project for school or for a kid
I
or
mean, there's
something,
plenty
we
of
say, yeah,
shells.
maybe down there, and you can pick whatever shells you want.
Okay.
All right, there's no public here. Who wants to make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
So moved.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
What are you doing for dinner?
All right, still recording. Thanks, Tim. Have a good night.
Really familiar.